country are smart. They're not stupid. They can see the snap impeachment was nothing but political theater. No due process, no evidence, no defense, none of it. And now we're finding out that, it was all pre-planned ahead of time. And another needless smear that accomplished nothing. It's been 5 years of this. They've also had it with Republicans and Democratic swamp creatures. And this is a question the Republicans are now going to have to ask themselves tonight. Where was John Thune and Mitch McConnell fighting against the biggest abuse of power corruption scandal in our history with Operation Crossfire Hurricane? They were missing in action. Where's the sanctimonious Mitch McConnell, John Thune demanding that Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Maxine Waters, when is he going to give a speech on the Senate floor and hold those Democrats accountable for their incitement of insurrection and their insurrection-like language? The time is now coming for new leadership in the U.S. Senate.
So that's the big line. New leadership. He doesn't want Mitch McConnell anymore. And Sean Hannity still has a big audience. Most of them are asleep and elderly, but he does have an audience. So what do you think about that?
I'm just, these people cannot gaslight their significant others to this extent. And so they get on national TV and gaslight America because everything that he just said was a lie. And he's a prolific lie. He is a master of lies and half truths. And they are doing John, how do we, we're fighting against some really malevolent people. This is downright pure evil in a certain extent. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, the Crossfire Hurricane, I know there's a memo coming, I'm sure, and a memo is gonna prove everything about how Obama tapped his things and was looking at his text messages and touched his ass. I don't know, there's always something coming, Sean Hannity. This is what his audience tunes in for. So I'm not gonna knock the hustle. This is his grift or whatever. But and so the fact that Mitch McConnell didn't protect him from Crossfire Hurricane, which I think is a board game that I played growing up. I'm pretty sure it was an 80s board game. It's just such nonsense. It's such nonsense. And then the Democrats were the ones who inspired insurrection. Which insurrection did they? They just won the election. That's the normal thing. That's not the insurrection. That's just the rection, I think. You were insuring. You were the ones who tried to steal it. And anyway, all of that is just grifty frosting on the cake. The cake is they're pissed at McConnell because McConnell isn't being deferential enough to Donald Trump, even though McConnell has given him virtually everything that Trump has ever asked for. He gave him all those judges. Sean Hannity, how quick to forget about the judges that you got and all of that. And again, McConnell voted to acquit Trump. So the main reason that I want to mention this is one is that there is a chance this actually leads to new leadership for the Republicans. I don't know how likely that is, but the other is that Mitch McConnell really thought, and this is to one of your earlier points, Ben, that he was being really slick, and he thought he could have his cake and eat it too, or whatever, and yet he voted to acquit him. He's still getting attacked. The Trumpists still despise him after all of this. I don't know how much that matters, but he is leaving this seemingly in a weaker position than people like not just Trump, but Marjorie Taylor Greene from the point of view of his base.
I have to think about this kind of from a Star Trek perspective. Just give me 1 second on it. Like the mirror universe, like the Spock with the beard. We have to look at the Republican Party as a mirror of all the problems that we have on the left. And you have people who actually look at Mitch McConnell and think that he's too reasonable, right?
Yeah.
You have Sean Hannity, who is, they have their extremists on Fox News. Ours are on Twitter, right? And they have a bullhorn so loud that they're able to shout their extremism across to millions of people every single day. And that extremism believes that Mitch McConnell, who just acquitted Donald Trump in the January 6th incident, they look at him as too reasonable. That's a problem. We have a serious problem in this country.
That's crazy. Yeah, and they think that at the same time, they think that Biden is an insane communist that's gonna hunt down all of his political opponents when Biden has no interest in any of that. You could stab Biden in the kidneys and he'd be looking to reconcile with you after 5 minutes. It's madness what they gaslight them. Like at the end of the day, they gaslight themselves. Like Sean Hannity now dwells in an insane world, and his view of virtually everyone figures on his side of the aisle and the other side. He cannot rationally look at them. Like he doesn't know what they are. Or at the very least, he has to lie about it to his audience. We can always debate to what extent they're true believers or they're just lying. Sean Hannity seems like he believes a lot of this. Right. But anyway, that's not Mitch McConnell is a radical. He spent last year just exclusively trying to stop people from getting COVID aid and getting a Supreme Court. That's all he did. And that isn't enough for people like Sean Hannity. It's crazy.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.